Hello, welcome to another edition of Barbecue for Beginners UK. Today we're going to do what everyone does on a barbecue, really, burgers. But these are the recipe I got from a guy called Greg over at Basllistic BBQ. He's in San Diego in the States, and he does copycat recipes of burgers, and I'm basically copying what he's doing just to see how they taste, because obviously he's in the States and we're in the UK. So before we do the burger, we need to make like a seasoned salt to go with it, and the sauce itself. The sauce itself is these are in American measurements. I use these things to measure them. They're in the American cup size rather than milliliters or grams that we use over here. But you can get them in a department store, any decent department store, like Debenhams I got mine from, I think. So in the sauce, very simple. It's 1/4 cup of mayonnaise, 1/8 of a cup of this yellow mustard, which you can get in just about any supermarket, and there is 1.5 tablespoons of this relish, New York deli pickle. It's also French's who make the mustard, and then you mix it all together. Oh, there's also 1/2 teaspoon of lemon juice in there. I put a little bit more in actually because I went over the top. It just looks like that, and it tastes good. It would go with hot dogs, burgers, or anything really. And then the seasoning, it's these two things. I couldn't find them in the UK. I got these online. I'll put links below, and it's Montreal steak seasoning, but it's just bog standard steak seasoning really. And this stuff, Lawry's, what they call it, Lawry's seasoned salt, and it really is delicious. If you can get hold of this, again, I'll put links on Amazon. It really does give any sort of meat a really nice flavour. It'd be good in a rub, I think, as well. So that's all just mixed together, just those two ingredients. It's 3 parts of the Montreal and 1 part of the Lawry's. That is 1 teaspoon and 3 teaspoons. And it just looks like that. That's going to go on the burgers. We're going to make our own mince on my new gadget, which we'll see in a moment. So that's the stuff to do in advance, and then we're going to make the burger patties fresh next. Okay, so we've got our meat. I've got a ribeye steak, which I got from Aldi, I think, and I've also got some, Americans call it chuck steak. It's braising steak is what we call it, but you can see there's not much fat content in there. So you want to have a nice juicy burger. This ribeye's got quite a bit of marbling, quite a bit of fat in there. So I'm going to basically cut these into chunks, and then they're going to go in the mincer. The mincer I've got is, just lift the camera, is one of these KitchenAid things. I got this second-hand off eBay, and I used to use this thing, which is one of those hand meat grinders, and I found it pretty useless, to be quite honest. I wouldn't really recommend one of these things unless you're only going to do some mince maybe once a year or something. But if you want to get one, I got that off good old Amazon. That's the box that it came in, Eddington Mincer Pro. But this KitchenAid thing, this is the first time I've ever made mince in it. I've not had a trial run or anything, so the mincer attachment comes separate. I bought that also on eBay separately, and I've also used this bad boy to make some brioche buns, which we'll be using for the burgers later on, which you'll see shortly. That's the food grinder box, just if you're interested. So we're going to get this meat chopped up, and then we're going to put it through the mincer and see what we come up with. My hands are clean, by the way. Like I said, it's the first time I've used this mincer, so I'm pretty pleased with the results so far. I did it with this handheld one. It just kept getting clogged up. It was not efficient at all, so this is much better. As I said, there's Smashburgers, and I think there's only 2 places in the UK where they have a Smashburger restaurant. There's one in Brighton. For any of you down south, maybe try that one. And the other one's south as well. That's Milton Keynes. There's the branch, but I heard recently they're going to be opening up a branch in Newcastle, in Eldon Square. I'm not sure exactly when, and I contacted them because I was trying to find some information from them about this burger, and they very kindly invited me to their friends and family opening event, which I'm hoping to hear from soon. I think it's sometime at the end of October, early November, I think. Now I heard a little tip: when you finish mincing, put some bread in here, some old crusted bread that you don't really want, and that cleans out the rest of the mince. So just let these last few bits come through, There we have our minced beef. Looks pretty good. See the fat content in there, so we're going to make some patties. That's the next job after I've cleaned the mince. It's time to make our burger patties. This is parchment paper. Used this a few times with making burgers, and it's really good stuff. Well, just I've got a bacon tray underneath it as well, so once you've got your burgers on here, it's just easy to pick these up and pop them in the fridge till you're ready to use them. So pretty straightforward. Wash my hands, they are clean. So take our mince, and the key with this is to not put much pressure on it. Just hardly use any pressure at all. Because it's a smash burger, I'm going to make little, basically meatballs, I suppose. Put it over there, because when you go on the grill, you'll see later, we're going to what they call smash them. So I'm just going to make meatballs. You can make them as big or as small as you want, depending on what size your buns are. I just don't want to handle this much at all. It's going to literally be a meatball, and this will get smashed on the griddle. There's no egg, there's nothing in this meat, it's just pure minced beef. That's all it is. I'm going to put these in the fridge just to keep the meat nice and cool, so we keep the shape. Okay, a little later than planned, we're going to start cooking the burgers. Sorry about the noise, looks like next door's, or the people at the back are building a new house. Anyway, I'm going to put the burgers on. A bit of just ordinary oil. People use granola oil and all this stuff, and just use whatever oil you have. Left it on now. This is the Smashburger technique. 10 seconds. 1. A little bit more oil there. Seasoning going on that we made earlier. Looking the way they're breaking up a little bit, I'm thinking perhaps not quite enough fat content, but I'm not too worried, they're still going to taste damn good. Let them cook away. I'm going to make some onion rings. Be right back. I've tried this recipe before. Probably tell I've never done this before, so kind of that's the beauty of this griddle. Sorry, this Copycat grill that I've got. I'll put another link below if you want to get yourself one of these, and same with the ballistic grill that I'm using here as well. Oops. You see the crust on there, it looks really good. Onion rings can come off now. Love that sound of frying. Ooh. These are going to be tasty. A few of them scraps. That's looking good. Apparently they use egg rolls rather than brioche, but I made these brioche buns myself yesterday, so I was going to toast them. Then warmed up a little bit, looking nice and toasty. Right, we're inside. We're going to make ourselves a burger. So the first thing we're going to do is put on the sauce that we made earlier onto our toasted bun. This sauce is really, really tasty. Even if you don't make this burger, it's worth making this sauce just for, you can have it on hot dogs or anything really. Tasty as. Sorry about my sniffling, it's middle of October and it's getting a bit chilly outside. Okay, that's our sauce. Apparently at Smashburger they've got 2 of these sauce bottles. I bought these in B&M. Got a load of them handy for oil and that kind of stuff. So just gonna. It's kind of how they do it, like 2 little circles, something like that. It's kind of nice colours. So after the ketchup, we're going to put on our lettuce. Just ordinary run-of-the-mill piece of lettuce. It's going to go on. Already rinsed this, and it's big lettuce, but what the heck. And put on a tomato, like that. A little bit of red onion, like that. A couple more tomatoes. There we go. And they use 3 of these little, we call them pickles. They're just, it's basically gherkin, which is what, pickled cucumber, I think. And that is pretty much it. So, I'm not sure I've done this right actually. It's actually upside down, but it doesn't matter. Pop that on there, like that. Pop that on there, like that. There's our 2 burgers on the plate. Just a bit of meat, and on the side, got our onion rings. That is good. Anyway, give it a try. Sorry for talking with my mouth full. Hope you enjoy this, and please like, subscribe, make a comment if you wish, good or bad, I don't really mind. It's a learning process for me. And thanks for watching. See you in the next video. Looks like the camera was off. Sorry.